I'm the better half.
I didn't know you had a twin, Kevin.
Yeah, we don't talk about him much.
Nice.
Is this live globally, Kev, or what?
It's being beamed around the world on the ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you are recording?
I am recording. This is beautiful.
Okay.
This is the finale.
So I better watch my P's and Q's.
Yeah, you better.
Nah, I gotta make it more exciting that way.
Okay, well, let me start drinking then.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, please do. Well, it's 6:01. I think we're going to get started here, and welcome to day 12 of the 12 days of whiskey with Kevin. And this is the finale. Big day today. As you can see here, I've got some special guests with me here to help cap off this project. And I'm going to each one of them will be introduced as we go along. And wanted to start out with just this, that we, just a year ago, almost to the day, we had a trip to Ireland. So it was my brother, who you might see there, the ugly one, and then my beautiful sister and my parents, and I went to the homeland. And so that was really special. So if you remember back to day one, there was that reference to Teeling whiskey that Mark and I did the tasting with of Dublin. Mark, anything that you remember about that strikes you?
I remember the sun, how it's off the buildings in the afternoon. It reminded me of Rome.
Okay. All righty then. So moving on, we'll do, I did want to keep with the Irish theme for the song, and I want to thank our music director, who is Laura. She has been fantastic. We also got some input from a fellow Irishman. His name is Brian Cassidy. So shout out to you, Brian, for coming up with this one. The song is actually Whiskey in a Jar, and it's by Thin Lizzy. The cool parts about Thin Lizzy that I wanted to tell you about was, one, the band was formed in 1969, and that was a very special year, 50 years ago, when two beautiful babies were birthed in December. Well, one was more pretty than the other, but anyway, these guys were formed in Dublin, Ireland. So that's the song, Whiskey in a Jar, perfect for today, Irish. Also, you might recognize them from their other big hit, The Boys Are Back in Town. We could have gone with many songs from them, but that was Laura, in her infinite wisdom, said, yeah, I like Boys Are Back in Town. That's really cool. But what about this one? As usual, she was right. So, on to the distiller of the day. So we started with Ireland and we're ending with Ireland, and this one is the one. So it's called the RedBreast Irish Whiskey Lustau Edition with Sherry Finish. So Pat and April, I'm going to put you on the spot here with a little trivia question, because here's the question. What day and whiskey did we taste this week in the 12 days that also finished in Olorosa sherry casks?
I'm gonna say 1776.
What? Really? And what day was that?
What day was it, April?
That would be day 9. And it was this lovely day right
Oh
here.
my gosh, you have it. Holy cow. That is...
Our collection rivals yours.
That is absolutely right. It was you, April, that introduced me to this one.
Yeah.
It
It's definitely different than today's. So they're both finished the same, but they're definitely different from each other for sure.
Absolutely. Well, so this one is an interesting one. And by the way, you guys are right, so thank you. That's perfect. This one is a collaboration between the winemakers at Bodegas Lustau. That's where they get the Lustau name, and the master blender at the Midelton Distillery, which is the guys who make this in Jameson. I didn't have the Jameson or the the RedBreast shirt. When we went to the distillery, they didn't have any RedBreast shirts. We had to buy the Jameson one. And by the way, this is an athletic cut. I think it's European cut, so it doesn't fit me very well until I lose another 20 pounds or so. All right, moving on. So that's why you can only see like from the...
Pretty sexy, Kevin.
Well, thank you. The check's in the mail.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the location on this puppy is in Midleton, which is in County Cork. And that's about a 3-hour tour, not on a boat, but it felt like it, like we were on that Gilligan's Island tour. Took us a long time to get there, but I think we were driving and I don't know, probably a wrong turn or two. Anyway, it's a 3-hour tour from Dublin, and it's especially good if you go through Waterford. So wanted to show you this glass. We had some glasses that we're going to taste from, and that was from Waterford. So
Very nice.
I'm going to pivot a question to my brother Mark and sister Heather. Hopefully, Heather, are you on?
Yeah, I'm right
I can't see. Oh, there you are. Howdy. Sorry. I can't
Been
see
here
everybody.
the whole time, Kev. Thanks for notes.
As usual, $1 short. Okay. So anyway, pretty girl, do you remember what the tasting was like when we went into the Jameson and had this beauty?
I do, because you were actually our driver that day. So you were talking about the 3-hour tour and a couple of wrong turns. That might have been you. So by the time that everybody got to the Jameson Distillery, everybody was super happy. And I, probably like everybody else, smelled fruit and caramel in the air. I didn't taste anything, but it was actually really cool to go in. And if I recall too, there were a couple of special bottles that you and your brother Mark got while we were there.
I do have this one. This is a like super duper special. If you can see this, I can't see my own self, but if you can see this, it is the Jameson Black Barrel cask strength. So Mark and I both got a bottle of this, and that's like uber duper special. You can only get it at the distillery. So April and Pat, I'm thinking we need to go on a little tour, and Amy and TJ, we need to take a trip back there and do some sampling.
Oh, wow. That would be awesome.
Well, is it going to last 3 hours? I don't know if I can handle it.
The drinking will last 3 hours, I can assure you.
So Kev, the question should be, why did you get that bottle that trip? What was it celebrating?
Well, we had a special birthday, and I had my 50th first, and then Mark, didn't you have a special birthday as well?
I can't recall. Once you get over 49, you can't kind of lose your memory.
I definitely understand that.
I don't have that problem. I'm not over 50.
I don't either, and I'm way over 50.
And our extra special guest is definitely not over 50. So we'll leave that one for the end here. But so I thought we'd move on to the smelling. So we're going to do this a little different than just me smelling and telling everybody. So we'll each smell what we have there in front of us, and then we'll go around the horn and tell everybody what you smell. So take your glass, give it a little sniff. And I think let's go to TJ. Let's go to you first, mister. And actually, a quick aside here for those of you on watching this that TJ is a very, very good friend of mine and known him for a long time. He was one of the ones that's credited in those bike trips, the boys mountain biking trips, and we have sampled plenty of whiskey and bourbon and whatever over the days. So kudos to you for exposing me.
Well, kudos for you for joining us on those trips. And hey, everybody, I was a minute or two late coming on, so I just wanted to say hi. It's good to see all your faces. It's been a while since I've seen some of you, but really nice to be able to connect this way, especially with very nice bottled whiskey. So I will say we were a little pressed for time today. We were in Bend visiting my parents. Now we're in Sisters, and we were frantically trying to find a liquor store that was open on the way back, which we did. Bit of a limited selection there, and so they did have a RedBreast, but it's not exactly the one you guys are drinking. So I got the 12. Yours is a little more special than mine, but you know, still it's a RedBreast, so same distillery. I don't know if you want me to go through and tell you what I'm smelling on mine. It doesn't really coincide with what you guys are smelling.
Well, that's a pretty good one, though. Yeah, let's go to you first, because April has a really good nose for this stuff.
I do not have a good nose. I have a good ability to drink it. And Kevin, I trust you on the mountain bike trips with introducing myself and the rest of our mountain bike cronies with some very nice whiskeys over the years, some that we've enjoyed immensely after some long days on hot trails. So appreciate that. And you know, this evening is introducing me to yet another one. So appreciate that. Mine, it's the nose on this one. It's a little sweet, burns a little bit when you first get the little sniff to it, but then sort of settles into your nose, and it's a very, it's not super sweet, but there's a teeny bit of caramel to it, maybe a little bit of a woodsy smell. Definitely enjoyable after that first little burn, but enjoying the smell for sure. Are we tasting now, or
Awesome.
are we?
No, not yet. Not yet. Hold it.
I've got my actual drink for the tasting. I've got my utilitarian drink over here that I'm drinking between. So
You're double fisting.
making sure I'm not jumping the gun there.
So April, Pat, what do you guys smell?
All right. So I would say, first off, I smell citrus. So that might be the sweetness, but I think it's orange or some sort of citrusy smell.
Yeah, little bittery smell.
And it might be, I would say it might be cinnamon as well.
Interesting.
So those would be the two that I would say.
Yeah, and I would say a little bit woodsy too. I smell some of that. I smell a little bit of caramel, but probably not as much as the 12 that your friend is holding.
TJ.
Okay.
Jay. Hey.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Awesome. All right. My wonderful father, Glenn, what do you smell?
Well, I smell marshmallow and cotton candy with just a tinge, just merely a scent, fleetingly, of Cholula hot sauce.
Wow.
That sounds like TJ.
Definitely in there. That's gotta be.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Using that for 200 years.
That's fantastic.
How about Mark or Heather? What are you drinking, and then what do you want to smell?
want
Do
me
you
to
smell
show 'em?
bullshit?
I didn't have that,
Oh,
but I had some dingle.
oh, that's yummy.
But I don't drink whiskey because I don't like it, so I'm drinking Diet Coke in a fancy glass. I'm
Okay.
here and enjoying all the things that my brothers love, so that's why I'm supporting you. And the Diet Coke does have sort of a lovely aspartame kind of smell, but I still like it.
That's awesome. You, Mark?
I too am drinking a Coke Zero. I was unaware that I was supposed to be drinking whiskey, so I apologize to you, Kevin.
Oh
But,
no, just having you along, I wanted you to talk about the tealing and the beginning and the end. So no,
But
yeah, there's no
whatever it is
expectation.
we're drinking or not drinking, I do smell fruit and caramel. So
And you know, what I'm realizing, Mark, I don't know about you, but I think everybody else on this call got more notice than you and I did. Because TJ had time to go to the liquor store. So,
yeah, we got like a half an hour.
so that's why we got what we got.
Because I was driving by it as I got the text.
Okay, all right.
Got lucky.
Well, the next 12 days we'll do it.
Yeah, this is just an initial finale. I don't even know that Facebook Live is working. So if
Maybe
it
the
is,
12 days of vodka. I'm your guest.
I can drink a lot.
Kevin,
So-
Amy just told me we've got 6 million viewers so far and counting. I don't know. Is that a lot? I don't know.
Look at, it's epic.
Yeah.
And I owe it all to you.
Alright.
Okay, so here's what I smell. I do smell the fruit here, and I also get some oak, but mostly Spanish oak is what I'm smelling.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And
No.
Really?
There's more humidity.
How is that different than French oak?
Oh, much different. Yeah.
It's
Better
mostly-
hygiene.
It's
that what it
mostly in language.
It showers more?
Exactly. All right, so let's get on to the tasting here. We don't have all night for this thing, but let's taste it here, and then we'll do the same round robin. We will start. Oh yes, Slancha.
Roast.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's go to you first, Father.
Oh, what can I say? This is like ambrosia. It's the essence of the gods. I cannot describe it. It's too good.
That's probably wise. Awesome. All right, TJ, what do you taste there?
Oddly, I'm tasting exactly what I described. Like to the I mean, it's like, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of burn when it first starts, but it gets better and better. I'm enjoying the heck out of this right now. It's a lot less harsh than I thought it was going to be from the first sniff.
Mhm.
Super smooth, goes down easy. I'm gonna have trouble drinking it slowly. Let's put it that way.
April, Pat, what do you think? What do you taste?
Taste nothing. It's gone. I can't.
Fill her up.
Yeah, this is delicious. I'll just say this is delicious. I don't taste marshmallow or ambrosia. Wish I did. That sounds lovely. But yeah, this is delicious. This is one of my favorites.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
And I
Laura, when you develop a palate after a few more years, a lot more years in your case, then you'll be able to bring out those subtle flavors that you can't. Move along.
Wow. Okay. All right. So moving on, then I taste the same. I think this is really smooth. To me, I agree with you, April. This is delicious, and this is a lot different than that, like the 1792. That was that full barrel strength, 125 proof. That was really, it was good, but it was pretty strong.
Yeah.
This is smooth from the first taste all the way through the finish.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think even the one that you have, the 12-year TJ, that's really smooth too.
Very much so.
I'm looking forward to drinking that. I might have to have some of that tonight.
All right. Well, come on down.
Okay, I'll be there in 6 or 7 hours.
And he'll see you from 6 feet away.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy outside
Gonna wear
knocking on your door.
Just because I knew I was talking to Kevin, but I refrained.
Well, like a fine wine and or spirits that have aged with time, I do want to introduce my father to you all and the patriarch of the Corcoran clan to kind of polish this thing off. And so, Father, I would like to start by asking you a question. Right now, as I look at you, it looks like you're somewhere different than your house. So, can you tell me where are you?
I have no recollection, Senator. Oh, well, seriously, I'm in Dublin, which I'm a few hours ahead of you or behind you, whichever the case may be. The reason I'm here is doing a little more research.
Well, okay. So, well, then can you tell me well, all right. I got a different question for you. When you were thinking about this trip that we all went on a year ago, what was the genesis of that? What was the impetus for us even doing it?
Well, besides connecting with our ancestors and taking all of you along to visit the old country, there were two big reasons. One, the first reason was to visit St. Kevin's Monastery, because you were named after St. Kevin. And for those of us, or for those of you that may not know, that Kevin was born, the first one, St. Kevin was born in about 486 AD of a noble family, and he became a learned priest, and then became a saint. And he was well known for his love of animals and plants, just like you are, Kevin. And so that was one of the reasons we visited that monastery, and we're all awed, as we are of you. And the second reason, a lot of people don't know this, but we were trying to follow up on the legend that your fifth great-grandfather, Daniel Corcoran, was the silent partner of John Jameson, who bought the distillery in 1805. Now, the legend is that Daniel was the silent partner because he was able to secure the labor and the raw materials for the manufacture of the whiskey at very favorable terms. We haven't gotten all of the documentation on that, but our solicitor is working on it so that we may make someday make a claim for part ownership of the brewery, of the distillery. The brewery is another story.
Well, I know there will be many friends, and those that are watching this who will want to get in on that.
Oh yeah. Sign us up.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
only wish I believed that. Well, so is there anything else, Dad, that you wanted to?
Well,
share?
I don't think I'll go into the possible knighthood of one of our relatives who was an Irish rebel that was actually knighted by Edward II. But I'm not going to go into that now because it's unsubstantiated.
Oh, controversy too.
Whoa. Well, maybe that's for a whole nother event after another 12 months of whiskey, or 12 days for sure.
It could be.
Yeah. Well,
You
there
could-
you have it. You know, that's pretty much the showstopper right there. Oh, there's more.
30. You could do 30 days of beer, Kevin, and that could
Ooh.
be the sequel.
This is proof. This is proof of St. Kevin that he actually is a saint.
Oh.
We knew that.
Family crest and so on.
Proof positive.
Cool.
And there you go. Awesome. Well, I think we've definitely taken this a lot longer than it should have been, so that we can all get to drinking. And there is my buddy right there, my four-legged pal. If you can see him, there's Coda. Super Coda. That's awesome.
You heard your voice. You had to come up and say hi. You're his favorite because you let him lick your face for 15 minutes at a time.
I'm kind of
If you guys think I'm kidding, I'm not.
Those are private moments shared by just one person and another. We don't need
Wow.
to
The dog, right?
let that go viral. It's more
Hey, Kevin.
bacterial.
Hey, Kevin, before we wrap this up, I feel like we should toast to you with your friends and family for a stellar 12 days of some fine whiskeys there. Thank you for that very much, Greg.
Mm.
Cheers.
Great job, buddy.
You've done it.
Oh, thank you all. Yes, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And those of you watching, it's really been a fun 12 days. Definitely some credits to do. I credit my wife, Kristen, for hatching this plan, and my daughter, Abby, for being my director. My friend Laura, who was the music director and just did an awesome job with the pairings. They were just perfect. I hope you believe that they were. If you listen to the song while you're drinking them, it adds a special flavor to it. And then also my friends April, TJ, those of you that have tasted with me, Daniel, and the guys from the trips and in the bars and whatever. I love the suggestions. I love the tastings. My next door neighbor, buddy Cliff, turned us on to that Basil Hayden's dark rye and had some yesterday. It was just fantastic. Oh man. So anyway, thank you all. I want to stay safe and healthy. I appreciate you joining us here on this ride. And it is the 12 days of whiskey with Kevin. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Have a great night.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Good night.
Thank you.
Take